there's not anything we could do to follow up with this. We don't know when it happened. We don't have any suspects. We don't have any physical evidence. I'm not sure what Mr. Murphy thought we were going to do with this. In fact, Officer Weisettle determined in the narrative ICR notes there was no report made or necessary. Sexual assault case on 6/2/2009. Mr. Murphy writes, on June 23rd, a report of a sexual assault case was forwarded to Chief Lanning. On June 5th, Chief Lanning listed the case unfounded with no documentation of any subsequent investigation or any documentation as to the reason the case was unfounded. This is a case where Officer Weisettle got a report at the JAP that supposedly took place in Belle Plaine. He goes down, he starts interviewing the individual. The crime allegedly took place 2 to 3 years ago. While he's talking to him and getting the facts from him, the individual, or Weisettle, points out some inconsistencies in his story, and he says, I'm done. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Again, I don't know where the report is, but Officer Weisettle also talked to the mother. The case was inactivated because there was no cooperation from the victim, alleged victim. But there was a report done. For some reason, it's not attached. And yes, it was unfounded. Okay. On 6/1/2009, damage to property. Mr. Murphy writes, Chief Lane took a report of damage to property, damage to rental property. Report reflects references photos to be attached. None are attached. Chief Lanning's report indicates he told the reporting party that he would send to an attorney's office. However, the case was inactivated per Chief Lanning. This case was a civil matter. I activated the case because the individual wanted the case. I did take photos, and no one contacted this person and asked him if I took photos. I did. The renters had moved out after 4.5 years. There was a broken window ledge, a broken refrigerator, a kitchen cabinet, a medicine cabinet. This is a civil matter as to normal damage. Well, damages occurred during the rental period. It says in the report, and what I wrote was, I would contact Scott County and reference this matter, the Scott County Attorney's Office, and reference this matter and make a determination if they would like to pursue the matter. I did that, and I spoke to Lisa Skoog about the matter. She determined it was civil, therefore it was unfounded.
The county attorney's office determined that it was civil, and as such they were refusing to move forward with criminal prosecutions. The event itself occurred, the damage, but apparently it's our understanding that the Scott County Attorney's Office determined that there was no criminal intent to damage the property, therefore they would not pursue prosecution.
Criminal damage report dated May 21st, 2009. On May 21st, 2009, Department received a report of $10,262 in damage to 2 vehicles. On 6/15, Chief Lanning inactivated the case. Officer Weisettle took the initial report. He responded. He took the case. There was no physical evidence, but there was a name mentioned as a possible suspect. On May 27th, I contacted that possible suspect. I contacted him and interviewed him. He provided me with where he was and what he was doing. He also allowed me consent to search his garage for any acids or types of materials that would have been used in this crime. None were found. There was no witnesses, no physical evidence. We did the best we could with what we had.
And that document is in the set here that follows the employee event report dated 5/21. It's, I believe, the third one in. It reads Belle Plaine Police Department case status sheet. It's handwritten. It gives the ICR, the complainant's name, the offense damage to property, and it has the chief's notes on what he did and when he did it. And it notes that the case status as of 6/15/09 is inactive, yet it remains open.
On May 10th, 2009, there was a burglary. Mr. Murphy's notes say on May 10th, a burglary was reported and Chief Lanner responded, which is not correct. I did not respond. It was a Sunday. I was off. Officer Kokolowski took the report on that date. He made a report. The next day, I went out and did follow-up on it, recontacted the victim. That report is included. It also has some handwriting on it from Ms. Bryce. Has not been saved to file in the computer. I obviously wrote the report. I don't know where it got saved, but I might have saved it to the wrong file. But again, it shows there was numerous items of value that were not taken. I examined the east window where the point of entry. It had been covered up to prevent further entry. There was no physical evidence in or around the window. There was broken glass still on the edges. No blood, no clothing fibers were located. It appeared based on the window that the person was small in stature. The table and front window were cleaned prior to my arrival, thus no physical evidence or latent prints. I did everything I could on that case. And I put the case will remain open pending further developments. Open, inactivated, it's the same technicality. On 4/16/2009, Mr. Murphy wrote, "Officer dispatched to fatal accident at Union Hill. Officer responded to the accident. Chief Lanning did not respond. Typically, more than one officer will respond to serious accidents if possible." That's correct, within the city. This did not occur in the city. We were assisting an outside agency. Both the State Patrol and the county were en route. And if you look on the ICR, or the notes, you will see all these cars that went to it. Eight units, including an ambulance.
And the issue here is that you had two officers on duty in your city, Officer Vicetal and the chief. Officer Vicetal responded to assist the Highway Patrol and to assist the Sheriff's Office on a motor vehicle crash outside of the city limits. They requested a Belle Plaine squad, and they received a Belle Plaine squad to respond.